name's Amy Culp. I'm a sports dietitian at the University of Texas, and we're going to talk sports nutrition today. Today we're going to talk about something really important for your recovery from your workouts, and that is decreasing inflammation through good nutrition. You probably heard a little bit about inflammation from time to time in the news and what it has to do in your body, but really, as an athlete, to remember that inflammation is a natural process that happens in your body as an athlete, and it's definitely something that we want to work to decrease whenever we can. And what I tell my athletes that I work with is that foods that you put into your body can either increase the inflammation or they can decrease the inflammation. The analogy that I use is it's kind of like a cold tub. We know a lot of student athletes use cold tubs to get in after their workouts, after they've had a hard workout, to help to recover their body as fast as possible. It's not really very much fun. People don't really enjoy doing it, but they know that they do it because it's important for their recovery. And nutrition is important too in the same aspect. There's a lot of times there's some foods that can decrease that inflammatory process that's happening in your body and help you to get over your soreness faster and then get to your next workout refreshed and feeling good. So some of those foods that can decrease inflammation are deeply colored fruits and vegetables. So think about things like red grapes and blueberries and strawberries, leafy greens, sweet potatoes over white potatoes. Things that have a lot of color in them have a lot of antioxidants and phytochemicals, which are just big words for things that help to decrease that inflammation. One of those particular foods is tart cherry juice. Tart cherry juice helps, again, because of the amount of antioxidants in it, it helps to decrease that inflammatory process. So what I ask my student athletes to do is, as they're getting in the cold tub, make sure they're grabbing a cold cherry juice to go in with them, and they're drinking that, so their nutrition is decreasing inflammation just as the ice bath or the cold tub is decreasing the inflammation as well. And make sure that you have at least, I would say at least 3 to 5 servings each day. If you can do more, great, but if you're doing none, start with 3 a day. And that would be as simple as adding a piece of fruit at each meal and then having your cherry juice as part of your recovery. Another food that helps to decrease inflammation is a healthy fat. Foods that contain healthy fats help to decrease that inflammation process. And those foods include peanut butter or other kinds of nut butters, any kinds of nuts and seeds, fatty fish like salmon and tuna, avocado, so getting avocado on your sandwiches instead of mayo can help to decrease that inflammatory process. Oils like olive oil and canola oil, using those to prepare your food and using those as a base for your dressings instead of the creamy, white, thick dressings. Those will help you to decrease inflammation. And then trying to limit, you don't have to completely avoid, but try to limit foods that increase inflammation. So those would be sort of the opposite of the foods that we talked about. So foods that I say come in, crinkly packages with lots of long ingredients on their ingredients label, typically have ingredients in them that can increase the inflammatory process. Some of those would be partially hydrogenated fats, so you can look on a food label and make sure that you're limiting foods that have the partially hydrogenated fat in them. The others would be other saturated fats, foods that naturally have a lot of fat in them, like high-fat meats like bacon and sausage. You want to limit the amount of those that you get in your day. Again, you don't have to completely eliminate them, but you want to try to limit or avoid as much as possible. So focus on those anti-inflammatory foods and trying to get more of those in while you're limiting more of your inflammatory foods, which are some of those unhealthier fats that come in fried foods or crispy foods, foods with long ingredient label that come in a crispy package. And then one last food group would be the foods that have a lot of added sugars in them. And so you want to, again, make sure that you're getting your sweet things from fruits, things that are naturally sweet versus foods that have a lot of sugar added to them. Thanks, I hope you enjoyed this week's tip, and happy eating.